Scribbling Sage here with a few words about John McCain. Boy, we're going to miss him. We're going to miss people like him because there's far too many these days. The primary thing is he did make it personal, and that's what's so different today. I mean, just look at how Trump treated him. Look how Trump treated his death. I mean, he put out a little tweet basically only mentioning McCain's family. He didn't mention anything about McCain. He didn't put out an official White House statement. They apparently had drafted one, but he said no. Put the flags at half-staff for like a day, and then normally they stay that way until the person is put in the ground. Not for Trump, not for vindictive Trump, not for a petty Trump. So boy, I mean, we need more like McCain, and we just lost one. Because he was known for reaching out to people that had vastly different views than he did. Ted Kennedy, John Kerry, Joe Lieberman, Russ Feingold come to mind. And I'm sure there were others. He went out of his way to reach across the aisle, to compromise and come to some sort of agreement. Because ultimately that's what we have to do. We seem to be in this state now where it's all or nothing. It's like and this is both the left and the right, where we act like we just have to win and we're going to subdue the other side. It just can't work that way. We're going to break apart if we keep going down this road. And the primary thing is we got to stop questioning the motives of the other side. That's something McCain did too. He didn't question motives. And that was probably the best example of that was when he defended Obama in the campaign in 2008. A couple instances that I know of, and I think they're public, where one instance, this lady stood up and said that she didn't trust Obama. He was an Arab, and McCain stopped her and said, no, he's a citizen. He loves his family. He loves his country. You don't have anything to worry about. We have disagreements on policy and on how things should be done, but he's a good man. He did it another time, and I'm not sure if it was the same event or another event, where a man said something like he didn't feel safe with Obama in office, and McCain said, you don't have anything to worry about in that regard. Nothing to worry about. He didn't question motives. He didn't think that the other side was evil and had evil intentions and wanted to destroy the country. But that's what we seem to have today. The left thinks the right is out to destroy the country, or at least destroy poor people or whoever. But the right thinks the same thing, is that the left is trying to turn us into a communist country in the style of Russia or the old Soviet Union. We got to stop questioning the motives. Yeah, I've always said that if we could just actually sit down with people, I think the internet causes us to demonize the other side because they're just a image on the screen. They're words on the screen. They're an icon or whatever if the real picture isn't there. But we start to build a caricature of the other side, and it's easy to demonize people when we don't know them personally. And that used to be the great advantage of that's why in Washington they're well known that people on different sides of the aisle actually, socialize together and actually are friends. It seems like that's even changing today. I mean, McCain went out of his way to form these public bonds, but it's always been true that in private, most of these people, socialized with each other, were actually friends. In public, they had disagreements, but it wasn't personal. Now it's starting to be personal. We're not enemies of each other for the most part. We all want the country to do well. We all want for people to do well. Just because somebody's a liberal doesn't mean that they want to control every aspect of our lives. They just happen to believe that more government is better, but not necessarily to the extreme of socialism or communism. But on the other side of that coin, just because a conservative may think that less government is better doesn't mean he wants to just throw the poor out on the street and leave them to their own devices. We got to stop questioning the motives. We just have different ways. We have different philosophies of how we want to get there. And we used to be able to compromise, and we still have to. There's somewhere in between that we're going to end up. Conservatives are not going to get everything they want to. Liberals are not going to get everything they want. Libertarians aren't going to get everything they want. We're going to have to settle for something in between. We have to realize that the world isn't going to end if we don't get our way. If it doesn't, we've always gone on. This country's always survived. Life goes on, even if we go a different way, or we're not quite conservative enough, or we're not quite liberal enough. We keep surviving. We have to remember that. I'm really gonna miss McCain because he had that voice, spoke truth, blunt truth. We're losing that today. Hopefully we can get it back. Thank you.